So children, there was some test which happened some Friday. Did you all write it? So there was this test on life process thing. Did everyone write it? Okay, so there is one more thing which I need to tell you. So for 10th standard, every Friday now, okay, every week Friday you will have a test, biology test. So this month, what are the tests I am going to tell you? So please be prepared for it. So 14th Friday, 14th August. Okay, there is a Friday. There is a test for you in life process. Only respiration. Okay, and on the next week, followed by that 14th, the next week would be around 21st, 21st August. 21st August, you will be writing a test on circulation. Okay, and 28th August, you will be writing a test for excretion. Okay, so this is the plan. So this month, all the Fridays you have test. Okay, so this Friday you have test for all the chapters. I mean, like this Friday or all these Fridays you have test in the chapter life process. Okay, so now what we'll do is like we'll try to continue with the class. But before that, do you want me to discuss the paper? All these things are foundation level only. Whatever I'm teaching in biology, I've been teaching only foundation level. Okay. So can we discuss the question paper quickly? Okay. So in that case, what we can do is like I'll take the question paper. Whatever I'm teaching, man, it's like beyond the CBSE textbook, some questions will be there. Whatever I'm teaching is this one. I am the biology teacher. I have given it for biology. You will get information for other things from Seeker stuff. You're able to see the questions. So these are the questions that I gave you. So let us quickly discuss these questions. The enzyme in saliva that is responsible for killing the bacteria is which one? The answer here is lysozyme. Okay. So the answer here is lysozyme. Please understand that your saliva has two enzymes. But there are a group of enzymes which are called as lysozyme. So this lysozyme will be involved in killing organisms. Okay, so the answer is lysozyme. The second one, so which of the following is used to absorb carbon dioxide in this thing? The answer here is 3, which is potassium hydroxide. Okay, so this I think it's something which I gave it to you in the class. The presence of starch in iodine is confirmed by what? This also we have seen it. 320 arsena 3. The answer for 3 is blue black coloration, which is 2. Okay, so the taste buds in tongue is called as what? Papillae. Photosynthesis occurs where? Here. So here this is a very tricky question. When you are talking about photosynthesis, it is happening in the thylakoid membrane because that is where what is there. You have your photosynthesis. The sixth one, where does the light reaction will take place? Okay, light reaction will take place where? All the light reaction will take place in the grana because that is where the thylakoid membrane is there. Okay, so the light reaction will happen. Please remember, light reaction will happen in grana. The grana will contain what? Thylakoids. Okay, the dark reactions will happen in stroma. Okay, so you need to understand the difference between the two. Okay, the light reaction provides the dark reaction with what and what? This one we have already studied, ATP and NADPH2. Where does the Calvin cycle take place? The Calvin cycle is like, okay, here it is given as Calvin cycle, but in your question paper, it would have been written as dark reaction. Where does the dark reaction will take place? Okay, it will happen in stroma of the chloroplast. Okay, the process of conversion of carbon dioxide into glucose is a dash reaction. We know that this is a reduction reaction. Why it is a reduction reaction? Because when carbon dioxide is converted into C6H12O6, what is getting added? Dash is added. Hydrogen is added. So if hydrogen is like added, what is the meaning of it? It is a reduction reaction. Which of the following releases oxygen in photosynthesis? For oxygen to be released, you need something to be broken down. What is that thing? Water should be broken down. That is called as photolysis of water. The number of carbons requires carbon dioxide required to be absorbed to get one molecule of glucose. For the 11th one, you need 6 carbon dioxide. Only then what will happen? In the T equation for formation of one glucose, you have 6. Okay. The stomata will open up when? When water will enter the gut cell. When water is leaving the gut cell or when the cells shrink, okay, Or when the stoma closes, the stomata will what? Close. Which one, Harith? Which part is releasing the thing? Which of the following releases the water? It is because of water is there. It say, for example, in this case of carbon dioxide to carbon dioxide is reduced. Let us consider a case in case of a chemical chemosynthetic bacteria. In that case, what will happen is the photosynthesis will happen. Photosynthesis is something which will be there. But the water, only if it is going to be the electron donor, oxygen is released. If suppose hydrogen sulfide is going to be the electron donor, oxygen will not be released. But still the reduction of carbon dioxide will happen. So please understand that it is not always water is required. Different organisms will use different substances. Okay. So some of them will use H2S as an electron donor. So in such a case, oxygen will not be formed. Oxygen is formed only when what is happening, water is like kind of broken down. Okay, this is for 10th question. So there was a student who was asking me, why can't we write it as reduction of carbon dioxide? The reduction of carbon dioxide can be done with other substances also. But only if the water is going to be broken down, it will give rise to what? Oxygen. If this breaking is not happening, oxygen will not come. Okay. Can you explain 12th question? You have guard cells. Okay. When the guard cells are full, the stomata will open up. Okay, when water is in, or the guard cells are bloated, the stomata opens. When water leaves out, or the guard cells shrink, the stomata will close. This is a basic movement idea. So if you know this thing, this is the thing. So now looking here, the stomata opens up. When will this happen? When will it open? Okay, the stomata will open when the water is inside or guard cell is bloated. You look at the options here. When water enters guard cell, that is correct. Water leaves guard cell, no, it is wrong. Okay, when the guard cells shrink also, it is like it will not open up. When the stoma closes, it means the stomata also closes. So which means all the three options here are wrong. Okay. So this is the 12th question. So there is something sir, you said photosynthesis is a reduction reaction for carbon dioxide, and what about water? For water, it is getting oxidized. Photosynthesis, if you are seeing, it is a redox reaction. Carbon dioxide plus water gives C6H12O6 plus O2. The water will be oxidized. Carbon dioxide is reduced. So it is a redox reaction. Okay, that answers Rajvi's question. Sir, the formation of what is Subhasri trying to tell? The option for second two questions were different. What is the meaning of it? I don't understand what you are telling. Yeah, water is like kind of a byproduct which is there. Twelfth question, I think I have explained it already. It was not any question which was explained. Harit, he was asking a doubt. There was a student who asked a doubt about how it is redox reaction. So I explained. What you showed, what I showed. Sir, in the test, the option for two questions were different from what you showed. Okay, I might have changed it. So while editing it, I might have changed the options. No, I wouldn't have. Okay, let me check it. I mean, I'm not sure what is done. Okay, which of the following is not true about stomata? For this one, which is the answer? 13th question, what is the answer? They are asking not to true. The word that is used here is not true. Okay, it is found only in the low. First option is correct. It is true. In dicot plants, it will be found only in the lower epidermis. Dicot only in lower epidermis. Monocot, it will be found in both. Okay, so this is the correct. So which means you see they are asking not true. Stomata is found only in the lower epidermis, so this one is correct. The statement is correct as such. This is a green statement. Okay, the guard cells contain chloroplast and nucleus. This is also correct. The stomata is used to transport gas and water. This is also correct. So which one is wrong? Only option 2 is wrong. So this is the wrong answer. So the answer will become, this is the second is the wrong answer. Second is the answer. Which of the following is an example for chemoautotrophic organisms? What is chemoautotrophic nutrition? There are some organisms which are their autotrophic nutrition is of two types: photoautotrophic and chemoautotrophic. If it is using light energy to make food, then we call it as photo. If it is using chemical energy to create food, then we call it as chemo. Okay, so if you're looking at here, sulfur bacteria is also what? It is a example. Iron bacteria is also example. So sulfur bacteria will use sulfur. Iron bacteria will use Fe2O3, rust. Okay, the special structures formed in amoeba to collect waste are what? The answer is contractile vacuoles. Okay, the saprotrophic nutrition is one in which what? What will happen? The digestion will happen extracellular, outside. The difference between saprotrophic and holozoic is digestion will happen intracellular in where? In holozoic. So this is for holozoic. So this will happen for what? This will happen for saprotrophic. Which of the following is not a component of gastric juice? In gastric juice, you will not see what? Lysozymes. Lysozymes is found where? It is found in the saliva. Which of the following is absorbed, will be absorbed in the lacteals and villi? So anything is fat and fat soluble, it will be what? Absorbed. Which of the following is not the content of secretion of liver? So in liver, you will not see carbohydrates. Okay. So for 20th, the widest and the shortest part is what? Duodenum. Duodenum is the widest and the smallest. The largest intestine is called so because of what? So it is longer than the small intestine. It is wider than the small intestine. It is longer and wider. Why is it called? It is because of small intestine, it is wider. Which of the following is the place where fat digestion starts? It is in the stomach. Stomach la fat enga digest agum. It will start only in the small intestine. Small intestine is the answer. Stomach la only pepsin will, protein will digest. The enzymes responsible for protein digestions are present where and where? It is present in the stomach and the intestine. Because pepsin, pepsinogen, renin, trypsin are all present in stomach and intestine. Which is given in your book, you got confused. Okay. Which of the following condition is essential for the activation of the proteolytic enzyme pepsin? For this one, 24th, the answer is what? 1. You need an acidic environment. That is why HCl is secreted. Why is HCl secreted? Because to provide what? To provide acidic environment for pepsin to be activated. So the next one, 25. The alternating expansion and contraction of thing is called as peristalsis. Okay. Which of the following is not the function of pancreas? For pancreas, you have multiple roles. What are the multiple roles that you have? It has a part which will be what? Secreting enzymes. It will have a part which will secrete hormones. Okay, it will also secrete one of the hormone which is secreted is called as somatostatin. It will stop what? It will stop the digestion process. So that is also there. So which means here pancreas produce insulin is correct. So it is a green statement. Pancreas produce bile pigments. That is a wrong statement. Why? Because pancreas will not produce. Pancreas produce enzymes that can digest food. Yes. Pancreas produce hormones that can stop digestion. That is also yes. The answer is 2. Okay. So now coming to the thing, the salivary glands are called as exocrine gland because what? Because they have duct in them. Only duct, the glands which will have duct, we call it as exocrine. The glands that do not have duct will have what? We call it as what? Endocrine. Which of the following is not involved in protein digestion? It is sucrase. Sucrase will digest sucrose, which is a sugar. Okay, and the last one, I mean like 29th one, the carbohydrate sucrose is digested. Which of the following is obtained? You will get both glucose and fructose. Okay, sucrose is made up of what and what? Glucose and fructose. The 30th question, which of the following is not true of the large intestine? Okay, it absorbs water with villi, larger villi, true. It contains coliform bacteria which produces vitamins. Yes, colon will have coliform bacteria which will produce vitamins for us. Okay, E. coli and all is present in our intestine. And what they will do, they will produce vitamins for us. Vitamin K is produced. So this is also correct. It stores feces in the rectum till defecation. This also it is done by the thing. Here you need to understand the larger intestine will absorb only water. Food substances generally are not absorbed. So this is wrong. Okay. So food substances are generally not absorbed in the larger villi. So the answer here is 1. 1 is the wrong answer. Are we able to understand? Why do you want the slide? Slide, nothing is there. Yeah, first slide you can see. Second slide. Third slide. Fourth slide. Fifth slide. Okay. You might be able to check your test papers online also. If you have already taken the test will be available in your Learnity portal. Yes, large intestine will also contain villi, but it will be bigger than the smaller intestines, and it is used to absorb water. So most of the water will get absorbed. Why do you need to send your test papers, man? Test papers we have already done online. Okay. Okay, it will be available online. So if you go to stg.learnity.com, can anyone tell me your ID? Is there anyone who wants to share your ID so that like I'll show you how to check it? Any one of you, if you are giving me your ID, I can show it to you. Okay, I have got one person has given, so just wait. Okay, so if you go here, you will be able to see the questions here. If you click here, you will have something called as My History. Okay, so in your history, if you are going to check, he has taken this test. So here, if you are going to check this particular thing, you get this view report, you get the report. So here in the bottom of it, what you need to know is okay, here usually this guy has completed the test quickly, so it is like kind of okay, I'll change that thing. So you should have spent at least 30 minutes. So here in the bottom you will get a report usually. Okay, so this ID is not having it. If you just check it, you will be able to see the questions also. The correct questions, wrong questions, every question you will be able to see it. So you spend some 30 minutes. If it is a 1 hour test, at least what is the thing? The total duration is 1 hour means you should have taken at least half the time. Okay. So here you will be able to check. Let me check with some other ID. So you can log it off like this. Like let me check with some other ID. So you see my history. Here also you have that thing. So if you see here all the questions, you will be able to see the questions here with the solutions. Okay, so like this, if you are going to see here, you will be able to get the questions along with the answers. Okay, you can also view the solution. There might be some solution written here. Fatty acid and glycerol along with fat soluble substances enter the lacteal. So that is the correct thing. So you can just check it like this. After finishing the test, you will be able to take it. Okay, so with this thing, we can stop it. We can start the new chapter. We have completed life process. So now we will go to the next chapter, which is control and coordination. So we'll start with a new chapter which is called as control and coordination. I have deleted all slides, the older ones. You can check the video in case if you want to. Okay, so now coming to control and coordination, you need to understand what is control and coordination first of all. Say for example, when I started this class, no, I was like kind of blabbering too much. Why? Because like just before coming out into this classroom, I was sleeping. And then like right out of my sleep, I just came and started taking the class. So at that particular time, what happened? My mind was not really good. So my brain was not thinking properly. So I had some coordination issues. What sort of coordination issues? Basically, I was not knowing what I'm talking. So I was like sleeping and talking. So, but now as the class has gone, I'm able to talk better. Okay. So what exactly is this thing? What exactly is the thing that you need to understand? It is that there is a process of control which is happening in your body, and there is a process of coordination which is happening in your body. So now let us take a simple act. If I'm going to tell you a simple act of talking, what is happening? First, my mind is thinking what to talk. Okay. And then immediately what is happening is the sound originates in my body from my stomach. So you have the deep sounds which are coming from the stomach only. You say nabi. So from that particular area only your sound is originating, and then like it is coming out and your vocal cords are vibrating. While the vocal cords are vibrating, what else is also happening? Your tongue is moving and words are coming. Almost around the same time, you are also doing one more thing. You are showing actions. So if you're saying going to say up and you show your hand, means like if you might be able to show hand up, and then like if you're going to tell down, and then like if you can push your hands down. Okay, so I'm not able to show you that thing. I mean, like I'm not like sitting. Normally, when I'm talking, like I will show expressions. You all show expressions. So that is what is showing actions. So all these things are there, integral part of one thing. So everything is connected. So say for example, when I am going to talk to a teacher, I will be like kind of very polite if I'm talking to a elder person. But on the contrary, if I'm going to have somewhere like I have to like shout at someone of you. Say for example, there is a student who's doing some mischief in the class. So when the student is doing some mischief in the class, what will happen is like you will be having I have to like shout. Okay. In such a case, I will not be saying, Tambi, please don't do it. Like that, I'll not say. Okay. I'll not be saying, please don't talk. I'll be like kind of shouting at him, clearly. So which means I need to control different kinds of things. But while shouting, I cannot show an action which is not very stern. I have to show a stern action also. Suppose if I'm laughing and shouting, will you be like happy? You will be confused. So ultimately, so if I cannot do that activity by laughing or smiling in my face. So I cannot do that thing. So which means ultimately what you need to know is you need to know that all these activities are integrated and coordinated. Okay, so Rajvi is asking, sir, I have a doubt. Our voice will come from lung or from the stomach. Okay, so there are two types of sounds, nasal sounds and guttural sounds. Okay, the guttural sounds will come from the stomach region. The nasal sounds will come from the nasal cavity and then the upper tract. Okay, so there are different forms of sounds which will come from different things. So say for example, if you are like saying some deep shlokas and all, you need to like start to sing from your mouth, thing, I mean stomach. So we call that as a guttural sound. The word guttural is talking about the gut. Okay, so sounds are originated, the air from that thing will come from many places and ultimately it can vibrate. So say for example, the common guttural sound and all is roaring of lion. Okay, lion is roaring and all, it will come from the guttural. Very deep sounds are like will originate from the stomach. So coming back to the main thing, what I am trying to drive is there is a whole slew of processes which are happening here. There is a lot of integration which is happening here, and all these things are controlled. You imagine a situation in your classroom. You're all laughing, okay, and you're all playing. Suddenly a teacher is walking inside. All of a sudden you are able to do that, stopping that thing. You're able to control that laugh, and then like you get back to the position, and then you are able to settle into the right place. So you're able to do that because your entire nervous system is helping you to do that. So in this chapter, what we are going to study, we are going to study about how this entire process is happening. Okay, so how the nervous system is working. You're able to understand. So you have something. So we are going to study control and coordination. Here in this chapter, we will be studying mostly about the nervous system. And we might also be studying about the endocrine system. So the nervous system and the endocrine system together, we'll try to study. Okay, so here you need to know about the nervous system. First, let us try to understand what will happen. Okay, so let us say that I'm calling your name in a classroom. Here, like if I'm calling you, you have to type it. But let us say that I'm calling your name in the classroom. In that case, I would call you. Okay, let me say that I'm calling like a person, say Pranav. So I'm Pranav. I'm calling Pranav. Pranav. So immediately, what will happen? His body would have received the signals, stimulus. His body would have received the stimulus, so it would have gone to the ears. His ear would have heard, okay, the word Pranav being uttered, so I have to respond. So how is he going to do? So what will happen is this: the moment I am like kind of like calling, he would have received the signal, and what will happen? He would send the information. The received signal will be sent to the spinal cord. So I'll write it spinal cord. Okay, so it is basically the spinal cord receives it, and the spinal cord will relay the information to where? It will relay the information to brain. It will relay the information to the brain. So who is going to carry this thing? The information here is going to be carried by nerves. This is also going to be carried by nerves. And the brain will make a decision. Okay, Pranav has called. Pranav, we are being called. Now it is time for you to respond. Okay. And you have to say yes, sir. Abdin solittu brain will give a command. But who is going to tell the thing? Ear is not going to give the information. Who has to talk now? Now the mouth has to say yes, sir. Which means the information which is going from the brain should go to a different part altogether. So there is a different group of nerves which will carry the information to the spinal cord. The spinal cord will send it to the organ, and you will see the effect. You would have heard the sound, yes sir. So it is a very simple process. Me calling a name and you are like responding. But what is happening inside your body is like very, 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 very huge. So what are the different things which are happening? So there is something called as a receptor. The receptor is going to receive the signal. Okay. And then the group of nerves which are carrying the information, we call them as sensory nerves. It is taking it to where? It is taking it to spinal cord. The sensory nerves and spinal cord is connected to the thing again by a group of sensory nerves. Okay, it will take that thing to where? It will take it to the brain. And then there is a group of nerves which are connecting the brain to the spinal cord, which are called as motor nerves. Again, a group of things will be sending it to the effector. Okay, through a nerves which are called as motor nerves. These receptors are present in sensory organs. These effectors are present in motor organs. Are you able to understand what is the thing which is happening? So a whole thing is, so there is a stimulus. The stimulus has entered the receptor. When the stimulus is entering into the receptor, the sensory nerves are the ones which are going to carry the information to the spinal cord and the brain. And the sensory nerves will carry all the way till the brain. The brain will make the decision. It will try to tell you what is to be done with that information. A lorry is coming in your pathway, move away. Okay. And then like what is happening is like from the decision, what is happening is like the information is coming to the spinal cord. The brain has given the decision and then it is coming to the spinal cord, and the spinal cord will divide it and send it. What is spinal cord? You please understand that spinal cord is just a pathway. So you have your body. So let me show you the nervous system. So if you see images, you have all the parts of the body. All the parts of the body are like connected with what? It is all connected with the nerves. You have the central part which is taking it to the brain. So spinal cord is like the one which is going to connect all the parts. So every part will be like having what? It will be connected to the spinal cord, and the spinal cord is going to take it to the brain. Are we able to understand? So you need to understand that the spinal cord is like kind of place which is like kind of organizing the information. It is organizing everything and it is passing on directly to the brain. So if everything is going to go in one pathway, it is going to be a problem. I mean, everything is going to go separately, it is going to be a problem. So what they are trying to do is they are trying to integrate it. So this is like kind of a pathway. Whatever comes from the brain, this spinal cord will distribute to the correct part. Wherever it is coming from, the spinal cord will see to that it will receive and it will pass it on to the brain. So it is the spinal cord which is going to communicate with the brain. The nerves cannot directly communicate with the spinal brain. Are we able to understand? So you are able to follow? Okay, so this is what is the thing. So you need to know the meaning, different meanings here. What is the meaning of sensory organ? An organ that receives stimulus from the environment. Okay, what is a motor organ? An organ that receives from brain and does a desired action. Okay, so then you have sensory nerve. The nerve that carries from the receptor to the brain. Okay, then you have something called as a motor nerve. The nerve that carry information from the brain to the motor organ. Receptor receives signals from environment. Effector brings changes as response. Signals of stimulus from environment, effectors will be. Are we understanding? Okay. So now, yeah, receptors are present in the sensory organs, correct? Receptors will be present in sensory organ. Effectors are present in motor organs. You have eye will have a optic receptor. Something which is going to collect the information from the eye. Okay, similarly ear will have some receptor. Auditory receptor. Every sense organ will have a receptor. Okay. So you please understand this thing. With this thing, we'll wrap up today's class. Or let me just do only one more thing alone. Small thing. I mean, like 2 minutes. There are different neurons which are there. Sensory neurons make the sensory nerves. Motor neurons make the motor nerves. Okay. And there is something called as a interneuron or relay neuron, which is the third type of neuron. It will be involved in reflex action. I will teach about interneuron later in the next class. But please understand that sensory neuron, motor neuron, and interneurons are all types of neurons. What is neuron? Neuron is a nerve cell. All these nerves are all made up of neurons. We call the interneurons as interneuron or relay neuron only. Okay, are we clear? Okay, thank you children. With this thing, we'll stop today's class. Okay, with this thing, we'll stop today's class. We'll continue next week. Thank you. Yeah, right. We'll study about relay neuron and all next week. You just understand the type now. Okay.